Nas Daily, or Nusar Yassin, born and raised in the village of Arabe, went on to finish a degree in Harvard and be a pioneer of creating on social media, gaining almost 70 million followers on social media. His videos, mostly known for his 1-minute videos, represent a story of innovation, of thinking outside the box. He's an influence for many all around the world, including me. Therefore, I'm so glad to have you here. So tell me, Nas, firstly, before we
מי זה
dig
נאס?
into... It's you,
לא, נאס זה השם של החברה.
Nusaya.
נכון, תודה.
Do you believe we shall dream big or stay realistic?
Wow, you started big.
Yeah, it's like not specific, but it's...
Man, I've never started a conversation with this question.
Yeah.
Do I think we should dream big or stay realistic? Oh shit. The easy answer is to say dream big. The easy answer is to say that. But I actually think the people who succeed the most are the ones that are the most realistic. You know who's dreaming big? People who want to see Israel not exist.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, free Palestine from the river to the sea. That's dreaming big. That's not going to happen. So I actually think the people who go furthest in life are the ones who are grounded to reality. Your feet are on the ground and your head is in the clouds. I think that's how you should live. Feet on the ground, head in the clouds.
So what did you think to yourself, like growing up in a village and like thinking one day I'm going to have, I don't know, have you thought about having a large amounts of followers?
See, my feet were on the ground the whole time. I never thought.
You never thought?
I never, ever thought
So you
Nas Daily would get this big.
You walked with a path where it guides you?
I basically, every step of the way was a grounded decision. So I was like, okay, I need to go to college. Where should I go? Let me apply here. And then once I graduate college, where should I go? Let me get a job. These are all grounded decisions. Once I decided to finish my job, I said, okay, I want to make a video. I thought, I want to build a 65 million follower media empire. I never thought of dreaming that big. So it's all small dreams that stack up to a massive one.
Okay. So I believe a child is born like as curious as can be. He like always wants like the 70 million option.
באמת? אתה רוצה 70 מיליון עוקבים?
No, like I am already like torn from society, but society that surrounds him makes him surrender to realism.
That's correct.
And there are times when this is very crucial and important. Like I would be building this airplane and jumping off a building if I was like as curious as can be.
Yes.
But there are also many times that it puts you in a box for the rest of your life.
That's true.
So do you feel you have been locked in this box? And if not, do you grant it to your family, surroundings, or to yourself only?
I look at you and the way you're being raised and the kind of experiences you have at this age. And I say to myself, wow, you have no box. Your dad is telling you you're going to be next prime minister.
Yeah.
It's so cool. You're singing in front of 50,000 people. You're creating a podcast with your grandmother and your dad tells you you're going to be the next prime minister. I am actually inspired by your story of how there is no box around you. For me, I grew up with some boxes. Yes. Not from my dad, but some boxes from society. You can be a doctor, max. You'll have a family, you'll have kids, you'll build a house and call it a day. That is the box. And especially as an Arab Israeli, the box is even smaller. So I did grow up with a box. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
So how do you manage to break through it?
I think I surrounded myself with the right friends. And when I saw that my friends did not have a box, I said, wow, I should destroy my box
Here
too.
or in the States?
Online friends.
Online.
I made online friends and I watched movies. I watched movies on TV. And when you watch a movie on TV that takes place in Hollywood and New York, you're like, wow, there is no box in that world. I want that. So I got the inspiration from online pen pal buddies and from movies.
Wow. Okay, and how was it like growing up as an Arab in Israel?
2 words.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
And how can we like make it better as
Maybe I'm too close to the microphone. How can we make it better? Look, I'm not here. I'm not going to come here and be like, oh, Israel is bad for Arabs and everything. I think the problem is twofold. It's 2 problems, not one. 2 problems. The first problem is, yes, the government doesn't really care about Arab Israelis. But 2, Arab Israelis are not putting the same effort as people living in Tel Aviv. We're not creating companies. We're not building unicorns. We're not creating podcasts. We're not doing much. So it's a twofold problem. You need the government to help, but we need to help ourselves.
and how do you think like the Arab company can help itself?
Man, if I knew the answer to this, I'd be a billionaire.
Because like I see people like you, like you're probably one of the most innovative persons I've ever known. And I see
Thank
like
you.
the people on your team, and it like gives me
Hope.
hope. I see a future here in the Middle East.
I don't know why my life became like this. I'm happy it did. But it's not, it's the exception. It's not the norm.
That's right.
And I think,
But you were an exception also if you were like Jewish, Not everybody has 70 million.
I don't know how to change a culture. I think you need 100 Nas Dailies. You need 1,000 people that are successful. They create the norm. They create the culture. One person is not enough. So you and I need to help create 999 more Nas Dailies in the Arab world, in the Arab sector in Israel. And that changes the culture. It becomes cool to do what's weird.
There needs to be like a unicorn,
Yes.
which is Arab Israeli.
I want to build it.
You want to build
I
it.
want to build it. That's my dream.
It's amazing.
I want Nas company to be the first unicorn built by an Arab.
Wow.
That's my
It's the
secret.
first one? Never was?
Never was.
Wow.
It's my secret dream, and I haven't told this publicly, but now you have it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Because look, I mean, Israel has what, 30, 40, 50 unicorns?
Yeah, probably.
All started by Jewish Israelis. All started by Jewish Israelis. And I'm looking at this, and if there's 50 unicorns coming out of Israel, 20% of them should be Arab. Right now it's 0%. So I think there's an opportunity here to build the first unicorn. And I
Wow.
hope it's Nas.io.
I hope to.
Yeah.
And do you think that coexistence is possible? And how can we as creators, what can we do for it?
Do you want coexistence, Dylan?
Yeah. But not,
Do you want a limit to coexistence?
yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
Tell me what's the limit.
I think until it affects like my
Identity?
yeah,
So when you feel like you're no longer Jewish.
not exactly no longer Jewish, but maybe not living in a democracy, maybe not living at a country that share the same values as me. Possibly that is a limit.
So you're like, okay, okay. Now would you
And
want,
it's also for the Israeli extremists.
yeah.
That's
But would,
right now.
would you marry a non-Jewish girl?
Of course.
You would.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're okay with that coexistence.
Yeah, of course.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're very far from that fear. Right now, we're almost self-segregating, and I think we definitely need coexistence. How old are you? 16.
16.
Do you have any Arab friends?
I have some, but like they're pretty much older than me.
Okay, but like your top 20 friends,
They're all Jewish because
they're all Jewish.
you know where I live.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the problem. That's not your problem.
Actually, in my school, there are Arab kids. Like
Okay.
there are, because my school is very broad, like from many parts of Israel. So there are Arab kids in my grade,
but
but still, it's not enough. It's like a very small percentage.
And that's the thing. You and your dad are the most liberal and tolerant and friends of coexistence. Yet you find it hard to have Arab friends. And
I have it hard because I don't know
yeah,
enough.
I lived here for 20 years. I had no Jewish friends. So we're very far away from living through coexistence. So if I was dictator for one day,
Okay.
I know you love democracy, but if I was dictator for one day, what I would do is I would do two things. One, I would change the entire education system. I would make schools mixed, every single school. No more 100% Arab schools. No more 100% Jewish schools. Done. The second thing I would do, I would make serving in the army or doing community service mandatory for everybody. Whether you're Jewish, Orthodox, Muslim, Arab, Palestinian, whatever it is, it's mandatory for everybody to serve 2 to 3 years in the army. If you make those two changes, you get coexistence.
I agree with you. I think it's a good plan.
Done.
Yeah.
We just fixed coexistence. Next.
Yeah, okay. How do you see the Middle East in 15 years? And what are you doing? What can we do to move it towards a more optimistic scenario?
So in the next 15 years, I'm willing to bet $100,000 that there will be peace between Israel and Palestine and Israel and Saudi Arabia.
Israel and Palestine. Israel and Saudi
Palestine.
Arabia, I agree, but Israel and Palestine?
I think there will be the coldest peace possible.
But there will be an agreement.
I think there will be an agreement. It will be cold, just like Antarctica, but there will be an agreement.
in the next 15 years.
I guarantee. I don't guarantee, but
And will it come through a terrible war as we saw, or will it come?
I think it almost always does come from terrible war. The peace with Egypt, did it come after
No?
a calm period? It always comes after a war. The issue is
Do
people.
you think it's this war?
I think it may be this war. Yeah.
Okay.
People forget how terrible war is. And we have to remind them how terrible war is.
Yeah.
We always have to be reminded by it. And I think now, everybody now remembers how terrible war is for Jews and for Palestinians. And you ask them secretly, do you want this to continue? Everybody says no. So they're like, okay, peace is the only option.
Yeah?
The most dangerous thing for peace is calm.
Okay.
Yeah. And the best thing for peace is war.
Maybe you're right. Like, we can be in a stale position for 50 years
Yep.
when it's like okay between
Status
two
quo.
sides,
Yeah.
and it stays as is. Like,
Yeah.
it stayed. Yeah. I hope you're right. You're very optimistic, you know it?
You know why I became this optimistic? Because
Yeah.
I went to Hiroshima. Have you been to Japan? You've
Yeah.
been to Japan. Have you been to
I-
Hiroshima?
Not yet.
Oh, you have to go to Hiroshima. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So in Hiroshima, that's where the first nuclear weapon was used. And there's a shrine where Obama said a quote. And I remember that quote. He said, "We have known the agony of war. Let us now work towards peace and a world free of nuclear weapons." So, but the first sentence is so important. We have known the agony of war. And you see it. When you go to Hiroshima, you see it.
But the Japanese have such a cool culture. They're like very different from us, you know.
What's cool culture, bro? The Japanese were doing kamikaze.
But that's
That
a
was-
cool. No,
is
the
that a
culture
cool suicide bomber?
now. The culture
The
there.
culture now, but would you call it cool 70 years ago when
No.
they were driving planes in suicide
No,
missions?
but see, they have a very strange culture of like emotionally. We are very like hot-headed as Israelis, I say. We are very like militant, probably. The Japanese are very like straight in their mind to the I don't know. They're 100% into something. So when they were 100% into war, they went
Yes.
into war, and then they were 100% into peace. So they brought like KFC and everybody.
makes
Yeah,
sense, makes
America.
sense. Same as the Germans.
Yeah,
And I think the Arabs can be the same thing.
you
I
think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think right now maybe Jordan, Egypt, Lebanon were 100% Palestine. They were 100% into war, and like no Israel. But Saudi Arabia and the Emirates are 100% into peace, right? And they're like, hey, like it's not an option to fight.
Yeah.
It's the option is to just let's build more skyscrapers and let's bring McDonald's in.
And that's pretty weird because you see a strange, you see that every country who is like rich in oil and rich in like their GDP per capita is probably more towards peace.
Yes.
How do you explain this?
The beauty of money, isn't it? The beauty of money. I'll give you another example. Columbia University, right? Who was protesting? The humanities majors, the liberal arts, the people studying philosophy. Who wasn't protesting?
The finance ones.
Yeah, Columbia Business School. Columbia Business School was calm. There was no problems whatsoever. The problems happen when you have nothing better to do.
Okay.
So really the trick is give me a better alternative than war. But this applies to Gaza and the West Bank. Let's give them a better alternative than war. And for West Bank, we did. It's called a job. You know, hundreds of thousands of West Bank Palestinians would come into Israel and work in Israel.
Yeah, but what can you say like to an Israeli who, there was this terror attack in Elad where a guy from a construction
Yes.
zone came and slaughtered a few people. It hurts it hurts my soul when I see it, and I like all for coexistence. But when something like this happens, like what can we do?
So, I think I'll give you a general answer.
Yeah.
The people, I think, who succeed the most in life are the ones who think with data, not anecdotes. What does that mean? You can say, every time I get on a plane, my mom gets anxious. She says, be safe, be safe. Planes are dangerous. The reason she says that is because there was one plane that crashed 20 years ago. And up until then, and from that point on, we're all scared of flying, right? But flying is 100 times safer than driving. But she doesn't tell me be safe when I drive. So what I'm saying is we look at the anecdote, we look at one bad thing that happened, and we say everything around this topic is
So
bad.
you're saying that like war is more dangerous than like
Than one guy from the West Bank doing a terrorist act, right? Because if you look at the data, you have 100,000 people going into Israel peacefully. So are you willing to change a policy for 0.00001% of the cases?
But the 0% is also like a couple of lives lost.
Okay. So, and this is where there's a very famous course at Harvard called Justice. Are you willing to help a million people, help a million
Yeah.
people, or not help a million people and have one person die? What would you rather do?
You know my decision, but
What's your decision?
to save a million people probably.
Right.
But I'm just like explaining the difficulty in the
Yeah.
Israeli mind to comprehend the
I
fact
understand
that
it. I understand. I don't even know the topic, the case you're discussing, but I really, in general speaking, it's really difficult when we change policies based on one incident.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do that. I think we should like have conviction that on the whole, on average, this policy is better.
But is it not like, I don't know, does it not make more sense that they will have their jobs over there in the West Bank?
I think what makes the most sense, countries fight less when they trade with each other more,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
When it becomes mutually assured destruction, if I fight you, I lose my economy and you lose your economy. But if they're both separate, then you're like, okay, I can fight you and I have my own, self-sustaining economy.
Yeah.
So you want countries to be like the European Union economically, all dependent on each other.
Yeah, like France and Germany
They'll never fight.
and France and England, they used to fight like for hundreds of years without
Right.
stopping.
Yeah,
And now you see a great coalition had begun.
exactly.
Yeah, it brings hope to me, like seeing the EU right now.
The what? Which
The
thing?
EU,
Yeah, yeah.
Until 80 years, until 80 years from now, it was horrible. World War II, World War One, and 100 Years War. It was
100%. 100%.
yeah.
So what is the EU of the Middle East?
It isn't right now a thing.
It's not a thing, but it will be a thing. It'll be UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt, Israel, Palestine.
You think so?
I
And
hope so.
Lebanon,
I hope so. Lebanon, question mark. There's too many issues with Lebanon.
yeah.
There's no Lebanon. There's like 10 Lebanons.
And can it be like, is peace possible when Iran is still in the picture?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna give an answer here. I don't know. I need a few more months to know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it will be much, much harder. Much, much harder. Their main interest is war because their main export is guns and arms.
What do you think of Russia?
What I think of Russia? I think it's a very, very harsh country with a very also strange culture. And their leaders don't do justice for the people.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think I agree with you that Iran is the problem, and Qatar too.
Without them, peace will be achieved in
Yeah, but at the
seconds.
same time, I wonder if you were born in Iran, would your opinion change? Would you see the situation differently? It's the same facts.
It's
Would you see it differently?
like if I was in the 50% that support the government,
Yes.
so I probably would hate Israel too. But there are also in Iran, it's very strange. There are probably around 40% that hate the government.
Yes.
They want to be liberal. They want to be free like they were
Yeah.
before 79.
Yeah, I know. For now, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of Iran at all. I'm just wondering, what are they saying? What are they thinking? Are they thinking if Iran is not in the picture, then there would be peace? Or if are they thinking if Israel was not in the picture, there would be peace?
I think they're doing everything for interest. They have interest in war. Iran as a government, I'm not saying the people.
Yeah.
The people, we see them fighting for peace each day in the streets and also dying for it miserably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know enough about this.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion yet.
Me too. I need to research more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a waste of the people's.
No.
Sorry, guys. We wasted 1 minute of your life.
They thought about it too, maybe. They also
Oh.
researched for it.
Maybe. Yeah.
So, and now I'm moving to a next subject. So for those who don't know, you graduated Harvard, right?
Yes.
And you had a stable job in New York, where?
Venmo,
Venmo.
which is PayPal.
Yeah. And you left it for being a creator full time.
Yes.
Are you sane?
What's the problem with that, Dylan?
But like, you had a stable job at an amazing company. Most people in the world will think like, are you sane in your mind for scrapping the job and going to be a creator? It was a big decision.
I think most people, the reason I was okay with leaving a job is because I had $60,000 in my bank account and I had a Harvard degree and I had a brain. And I had that self-confidence that, you know what? Wherever you put me, wherever you throw me, I'm going to land on my feet. If you throw me in Germany, I will land on my feet. If you throw me in Texas, I'll land on my feet. I'll find something to do. And that confidence is what allowed me to leave my job, right? The biggest risk from leaving my job was
So
losing my visa.
you said I have enough to just chase my dreams.
All I wanted was to never be poor. And I said, I have enough in my pocket to not be poor. That's it. I just didn't want to be homeless. I knew I could live on $30 a day. I could live a nice life. That's it. The experiences I was having fun with cost me 20, 30 bucks. A hostel in Cambodia is what, 10 bucks?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you can spend an amazing day in Cambodia for 20 bucks. I knew that I could be happy with 30 bucks a day at the age of 24.
And you did?
And I did. And I went and lived in that life for the first, year of Nas Daily. So I didn't need the $120,000 and I didn't need the whatever. I wanted to make more, but I knew that my minimum is fine. So now I'm also like pretty happy because even though I have a lot of money now, millions of dollars, I still like, I live on 20 t-shirts, 2 pants, 2 shoes,
That's it.
and 1 laptop. That is my life. That is everything I own. 20 t-shirts, 2 pants, 2 shoes, 1 laptop, 1 iPhone. Okay? I need nothing else. If you take away everything from me, I will feel no difference.
Oh,
I will feel 0 difference. So, in a way, how much does that cost? I don't know, $500 a month. I could eat egg whites every day. I eat a lot of eggs, right? That's great. That's a lot of protein in it. I'm pretty good.
so I'm asking a question. Maybe it's like a stupid question. Why keep doing all these companies if you like have what you want and much more?
Because I'm not building these companies for the money. Nas Summit did not make any money.
Yeah.
We donated all the profit. I want to do good and do well. The main reason I want to make a lot of money is because I wanted to create jobs. The hardest thing in the world is to create jobs. I love creating jobs. I enjoy it. So if I want to hire somebody and give them $5,000 every month, I really need $5,000 every month to come in. That's why I work. I work to make that money so I can create that job. For me, building something out of nothing is the sexiest thing in the world.
You're right.
Getting an extra $1 million is lo mizis li tatachat, as they say. So that's the point in my life now. Now that being said, the first $1 million I made, I loved it. It's so good. Money does make you happy. But the second $1 million, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And making jobs, what do you look for in your like employees? Do you look for something specific?
Yeah. When I look to working with somebody, I look at them and I say, do they care? Like you can easily tell if somebody cares or not about the company. If somebody thinks of Nas company as a job from 9 to 5, they are immediately fired. If somebody thinks of it like, wow, I've arrived. This is where I belong. I'm doing my life's work. And there's meaning to what I do, then they stay with us for years.
Amazing.
So we don't work for everybody. That's the thing. A lot of the people who work at Nas company are young. Yeah, I mean, we for every 2 people we hire, we end up firing one of them or one of them quits.
Oh,
So 50-50. So we're not really good at
that's
hiring.
crazy statistics.
But that's every company's statistics. They'll never tell you this. Every company is around 50-50.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like you hire 100 people, 50 of them are good. Simple as that. And that's something no one tells you until you build a company. And because every company likes to hide the negative. They like to hide what's bad.
Of course.
We're doing so good. The revenue increased so much. Great. But I'm telling you this, we're 120 people now. I probably hired 240 people in the last 5 years, but now I have 120.
Okay, but isn't it like a good thing probably that the bad people have left and only the good people who are ambitious stayed with us?
So yeah, but there's no bad and good people.
Not bad people, but just not passionate people.
They're also passionate, and that's the thing.
Yeah?
So when you build a company, I cannot wait to see you build a company because it's going to be great. You should build. You want to build a company?
Of course.
Great. You should build a company, then go to politics. There's no good or bad people, and there's no passionate and dispassionate people. There's only the right person for this job at this time, or the wrong person for this job at this time. So if you put me to make a 1-minute video every day when I'm 90 years old, I'm the bad person for that job because it's the wrong time, right? So it's just about, it's like a puzzle. Everybody is a genius, but you're a dumbass if I put you in the wrong environment at the wrong time,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm a dumbass if you make me a musician. I'm terrible at music. So I think everybody we hired is a genius. They were just not a genius for that specific job at that specific time in their life. And now they went on to become a genius at their next job.
Amazing. That's a good state of mind, but not much business owners are with this state of mind, I think.
Well, you know, as a business owner, like I want to show the truth of what's going on in the company, the drama and everything. But also, you want to be kind but not nice. That's really, as a business owner, I am kind but I'm not nice. Like if we work together, Dylan,
Okay.
you'll see a dark side of me.
Yeah?
You'll see the dark side of me. Yeah, I just gave it yesterday to like 10 people in my team.
You're very into it in work?
Very into it. Very, like if you literally put the wrong update, one wrong sentence, one wrong number, I make a big deal out of it.
Oh.
Like yesterday, I made a huge deal out of one tiny number that was off. And
Why? What did it give it to you? Why
Because-
can't you pick up the phone and say, like, this number is wrong, correct it, please?
okay, well, this is okay. So you've seen you okay. So I'm kind because I'm not going to tell you you're stupid. I'm not going to personally attack you.
Yeah.
But I'm not nice because I'm not going to allow it to happen. Excellence
Is key.
key. You have to care and you got to be on top of it. You get one chance off, two chances off, but third times doesn't work.
Yeah.
How
So
would you
that-
be as a boss?
I think I'm also gonna be like kind but not nice, because also things that aren't perfect are like, I'm getting pretty angry from them, but
From who?
from things that aren't like perfect. If I'm very passionate for something, everything that stands in my way looks to me very annoying and
Yes, totally.
yeah.
That's
So
me
I'm
too.
I'm very ambitious. I'm very ambitious. I'm all for the race. So I think I'll be
Well, very similar.
similar to you.
You know the laser eyes on Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Okay, so actually I didn't know this, but you know what laser eyes means?
No?
Laser eyes means I am focused like a laser on this one thing called Bitcoin. And everything around me does not matter. The
Okay.
financial system, I don't care about it. Other coins, I don't care about. I just focus on Bitcoin. So really, when you're building a company, you must have laser eyes towards the goal, and everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah. Let's see, but I think I'm gonna be very similar to you.
That's
topic,
good. Good
yeah.
luck. A lot of people will be angry, but if you
Yeah.
can handle it, then you're good.
Yeah. So we saw social media boom, we saw crypto boom, and now AI. What do you think will be tomorrow's $1 billion company?
Okay, tomorrow's $1 billion company is going to be a community. There will be a $1 billion community, and I just don't know why it's taking so long.
We talked about this
Yes.
in my dad's show
Yeah.
like a week ago in the podcast one. So I also agree with you. I talked with you on this, that I believe in communities, and I believe that a new type of companies will rise
Yes.
that are based on a truly like good or innovative idea that involves possibly tech, but are also a community that allows people to network and commute on.
Yes. 100%. A community where people can like interact with each other, sell to each other, learn from each other, and there's like one community founder, and then the community members just love each other. And I think if you look at the world, there is a community country already, which is Israel, right? Israel is a community country. The community of Jews around the world said, let us build a country and let's see what we can do with it. And now Israel has generated billions and billions of dollars. So that already exists. Now
Yeah.
can we do it in the private sector?
Right. I believe that I said it on your NAS summit that Israel is not only a startup nation, it's also a nation who is a startup. And not just a startup, it's also a community startup, just as we talk about.
100%.
It was 75 years ago, 76 years ago. But still, it's an amazing startup that still managed to bring much profit.
Much profit.
Yeah.
So how can we replicate Israel on the internet in a mini scale? That's what I'm
That's the question.
That's what I'm working
That's
on.
the $1 billion question, probably.
That's the $1 billion question. And that's my bet for Nas.io. I'm building a platform that allows anybody to start a community and monetize it. Because making money from communities is incredibly hard.
and on the social media making money is
It's
possibly
impossible.
it's impossible.
Possible.
You're a slave of the of Instagram, of TikTok.
And Instagram doesn't care about helping you make money from your community. Actually, we just had somebody launch a community in Nas 2 days ago, and she made I don't know $50,000-$60,000 in 2 days. $50,000.
What did she sell? What was
She
it?
sold a community for summer bodies, for people who want to get a summer body, like just now for the summer. Like, come join my community, and together we're gonna get a summer body challenge.
And this is what the community is about.
This is what community about. Get a summer body.
$60,000.
Yes, in 2
In
days.
2 days.
She's gonna get $500,000 in the next 20 days.
Wow.
Somebody's about to make $500,000
And
from
think
creating a community for summer bodies.
And think about it. If it's on Summer Buddy, you can make $60,000 in 2 days. If it's like a big idea that many people could
Yes.
lure
Yes.
into it, so we
Yes.
can possibly make like $1 billion out of a community.
Yes. You just need to create a reason for me to join this community. So there are some communities that we are willing to pay $500,000 to join. You know what that is? Harvard, Yale, MIT, Stanford. People are willing to pay $200,000 every year to be part of the Harvard community. Not to get a Harvard education, it's to get Harvard branding and Harvard community access.
You think it's for the name?
100% for the name. Why do you think I wanted to go to Harvard?
There's no like better professors there?
No,
No?
no. Physics works the same at Harvard and at University of Arizona. It's the same physics. It's the same math. It's the same curriculum. The curriculum at Harvard is not necessarily any better than the curriculum at University of Arizona. It's the students that have more opportunity, that give you more opportunity
Because of the branding.
because of the branding.
It's essentially like a brand just like Gucci and Louis Vuitton, just in universities.
For universities, yeah. And guess what? Louis Vuitton, LVMH, is the most valuable company in Europe.
Really?
Yeah, the most valuable company in Europe after Novo Nordisk, which is recent, is LVMH, which sells freaking handbags.
Wow.
Luxury bro, did you imagine a handbag is worth $5,000?
No, why should you pay $5,000 for a handbag?
I don't know, but people do it
Because of the branding.
because of the branding. So
Like you pay $500,000 for a curriculum that is the same at
exactly
1,000 places.
So for the education is the same. It's just the community. So really what people want is they want better friends because you are the average of the 5 people around you. And the best thing that happened to me from building Nas Daily is I have found better friends.
Okay.
Yes, I have found you. You're a friend, right? And that's cool. I learned from you. I learned from Aviv. I learned from the people I met at Nas Summit. Those are my friends now. I love it.
Amazing. And now I'm moving on to this last subject. You remember the stories of you telling that you're no longer like a Palestinian Israeli, but an Israeli Palestinian.
There we go. Let's go.
And I bet you found yourself overflowed with anti-Israel messages. So tell me more about the decision to post this brave story and afterwards the video that led you to this decision and what were the consequences.
Dylan, do you have a home?
I have a home.
Since you were born, you had a home.
Yeah,
Like clear Israel, right?
yeah,
But 2 million people that are born in Israel don't know if it's their home.
that's right.
They're like, is this my home? I don't know.
It's an identity crisis.
A massive identity crisis. One is Israel my home? Well, I don't feel very welcomed. Is Palestine my home? Well, I don't relate to them very much. Is America my home? Well, I don't speak English well enough. Is Germany my home? Is Egypt my home? So 2 million people in Israel are looking for a home. And I think the opportunity for Israel right now is to give them a home. Now, catch it before it's too late. So when October 7th happened, I realized, you know what? I actually have a home and it's being attacked right now. And I am going to, work towards making my home better.
Amazing.
And that's why I made that statement.
And how can you feel we can solve like the identity crisis of the Arab Israelis?
Well, I just told you, right?
Give
Mix-
them a home. What does it mean?
means mix the schools,
Oh,
make the community service mandatory, and then increase funding for Arab towns, and triple the amount of policemen. Put the Mossad and the Shabak and the police in every Arab town to limit corruption and limit violence. Then, make people go to jail for 70 years if they're caught for corruption, not just 7 days. You'll get integration.
okay.
And limit radical extremism, religious extremism, whether it's
Yeah.
Jewish or Muslim. Limit it. Anything
This,
radical
I
extremism,
agree.
limit.
This probably bring the most wars on humanity.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Muslim Brotherhood style stuff is dangerous.
There are Jewish that
Yes.
look like the Muslim Brotherhood.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the people who assassinated Yitzhak Rabin.
Yeah, ideology-wise, they're pretty similar,
Yeah.
but from other sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. And last thing, that your story sounds like a Cinderella story almost.
Cinderella story.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Dylan.
But every person
Who's gonna kiss me?
but every person who listened to you can hear in your voice that you're very ambitious and always looking for a higher summit to climb. What are the next goals you want to achieve? I think you just said one of them,
I
but
said one of them, yeah. So look, I started Nas Daily by making 1,000 videos in 1,000 days. My next goal is to build a 1,000-person company to create 1,000 jobs. That's hard. But
that's very hard.
yeah, but if you create 1,000 jobs, then you can probably build a unicorn company. So once I achieve that, a unicorn company and 1,000 jobs, I'm quitting.
Quitting.
I'm done.
Can you quit?
Yes.
You're sure about it?
Yeah, hire CEOs and I'm out.
You're out like living your life?
I'm out from working for money. I'm done.
Okay.
That's it. No more working for money.
That's your limit.
That's my limit.
But I know you. Will you be able to quit?
I will not do private sector. I'll do other things. I will
Okay.
find something else. Maybe we'll do politics together. You never know.
Okay.
But I want to do something different that has nothing to do with money. I just want to have an insane amount of money and company and like size company. And once I've proven that it's possible, then that's it. I want to see what's next that's not possible. Because the first time it was, is it possible to get 1 million followers? We got 65 million of them. Now, is it possible to build a unicorn company? Let's see if we can do that. And if we can do that, then we're done. We have the followers, we have the money. What's next?
Great. And if you have one thing to say to our audience, maybe kids that are in your younger self position, Jews, Arabs, everyone, what will
My
you say?
advice to everybody listen to this. One, all the kids listen to this. Watch more Dylan because he's a good example.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you just pay me later. Watch more Dylan. Make more friends like Dylan. And my advice to everybody now living in a kibbutz or a village or a whatever is look at what everybody around you is doing and do the opposite. If you just do that, you'll succeed in life. It's just worked for me every time
Yeah? Just doing the opposite?
of what everyone around me is doing. It just works. Like around me, growing up, everybody was watching football. Everybody goes to like the cafe and watches football. I said, I don't want to do that. Everybody wants to be a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor. At Harvard, everybody wants to be a consultant and a finance and a banking person. I don't want to do that. With Nas Daily, with
But
content
maybe
creators.
just it wasn't like going the opposite, just your way was very different from everybody you encountered.
But people forget that we are easily subconsciously convinced that what everyone around me is doing is the right thing. That's why my brother became a dentist, because everybody around him was a doctor. So be careful of doing something because everybody around you is doing.
And not because you want it.
Not because you want it. That is how most humans go into depression.
Okay.
So don't do that.
Thank you very much, Nusayr.
Thank
I
you,
had a
Dylan.
wonderful time here with you.
What a great conversation. And I'm excited to see where you go in life.
Thank you very much. And that was like probably 1 hour. See you
See you next year.
next year.